will work, hopefully. Here we go. Hi, Dan. Hi, Neil. Sorry, I'll send this little flyer out with my details and Anthony's details and everything else on as we go on. We've got a few more coming in now. Hang on a second. I suppose we're only 1 minute out, so that's not too bad. Let me try and get the screen up for the pictures. Here we go again. Welcome everybody as we carry on. Hi Garth, nice to see you. There's Mike. Okay, let me try and get this one down.
So by the way, while we wait, for those who haven't played with the Zoom controls, there's on the side of the picture gallery, you can drag it bigger or smaller to see more or fewer people and see the screen share bigger or smaller. And you can flip between speaker view and grid view at the button at the top right. So you can be your own TV director.
Okay. We'll just, I suppose, Anthony, just give it a couple of minutes and then we'll get underway. Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So obviously just a welcome from us and then yourself, 5-10 minutes, whatever you need. I'll wait for Craig for later and then we're going to run through companies. We've got 10 companies, 5 minutes pitch. We've got an online chat on everything because we go on, because during these events and also physical events, we find that sometimes it's a bit overwhelming that one company might pitch and then so many questions come in that they can't actually answer them and the other guys are waiting to pitch. So we've got an online chat throughout. We hope to finish up the pitches just on 7, which gives us another 30 minutes or so to carry on with individual chats, questions and such like. And also we've got a poll running now. There's some various questions in there. The main ones, I suppose, are the best pitch of the night, and none of the guys who are pitching know this, but what we're going to do is that, and obviously I get to see who votes for who, so you can't vote for yourself over and over. The number one pitch for tonight will be offered a free pitch slot at our next event, which is on the 30th of March. So again, little, not an incentive as such, but a giveaway for the number one pitch tonight. So here we go. We're all flying in now.
And I'm ready to get started whenever you like.
Are you right, Anthony? Let's go. So, folks, obviously people are going to join. Maud, you're going to be up first after Anthony. We'll put Genesis and Craig down later on. So again, folks, I'd like to introduce our major partner, Anthony Rose, the founder and CEO of SeedLegals, who helps us with our events, helps startups. So Anthony, I'll turn my stuff off, I'll turn my mic off and I'll let you go.
All right, so hey everyone, you can turn off the screen share if you like there, Neil. So hi everyone, I'm Anthony Rose, I'm founder and CEO at SeedLegals. So SeedLegals, we're now 70 people. I've been hiring a person every week or two for the last year. We're the largest closer of funding rounds in the UK. And what I want to do in the space of about 5 minutes is share some top tips and so on for the perfect online pitch. And I can see Maud looking very intense with actually all the boxes ticked for the perfect pitch already. Great lighting, great camera. And I can see that you're on first, so you're like in the zone already. So the perfect pitch. So there are 2 parts of what I want to talk about. Number 1 is what's in a pitch, and number 2 is the art of the Zoom pitch. So firstly, what's in a pitch? When you're pitching to investors, your pitch to investors, once upon a time, you'd go to exponential events and in the room, you'd stand in the front and you talk to people. Alas, that's on hold for now. But whether it's on Zoom or whether it's in real life. In both cases, in the space of, in this instance, 5 minutes, you want to persuade people to invest in your company. Actually, nobody invests just on a 5-minute pitch. What the 5-minute pitch is to get the investor to meet with you, to spend a bit more time on Zoom so that you can show them the business plan and get them in. So this is like the first date. So a pitch in the space of 5 minutes is a story. It's a 3-act drama. The drama is, number one, the exposition, the story. What's the problem you're looking to solve? Number two is how you're solving it. And number three is the traction you've got so far, and call us. So let me explain. I think there are going to be, in your pitch deck, we'll get onto the Zoom part in a moment, you're going to have maybe 20 slides or thereabouts. The slides are going to go, the story will unfold something like this. Number one, what's the big play? What's the tagline? Solving the world's food waste, or, you know, never get your bicycle stolen again, or whatever. Something to hook the person in. Bright imagery, a strong tagline. Then the next thing is you're going to explain a bit more about what it is, because exactly what am I going to be investing in? Then you're going to explain what the market size is. You know, lest people think your legal tech startup is only a tiny thing, you're going to show it's a giant market. Then you may show your competitors, because otherwise in the room, everyone's thinking, what about these guys? So you're going to show how you're different to your competitors. Then it comes to the traction part. And now you're going to show your growth year on year. You're going to show somewhere between 2x and 3x year on year growth, maybe faster initially, maybe a little slower afterwards. If you show that by year 3, you're doing 100 million in revenue, people are going to go, that's amazing. That would be a FTSE 100 company. It's unlikely. We're not going to believe anything else. But if you show that after year 3, you're going to be doing 500K a year in revenue, they're going to say, that's fantastic. You should just go borrow some money from Barclays because you've got a great business, but I'm not going to invest in it. So you're going to show that growth. And you're going to show potentially use of funds so that people understand where their money is going. And then lastly, you're going to have a pitch, a slide that says, raising this amount, the magic words, offering SEIS and EIS, and have advance assurance, and then call me over here and your contact address. So you are getting the investor hooked with the proposition, you're explaining what it is, and then you're showing them traction and where to go to invest. So when you now come to doing this on Zoom, what are the things to do? So here are quick tips. So number one, I see too many pictures on Zoom where the lighting is bad, the camera's at the wrong angle, looking down like a security camera or looking up your nose. The sound isn't great. So make sure the mic is there, get a headset, get a good camera, get the lighting right. Then when it comes to actually bringing up your pitch deck, you want people to see a really slick presentation. You want them to not see the first minute of your presentation, go in to try and get PowerPoint working. So prep your PowerPoint before you're on screen, put it into what is read mode. So that's where it's full screen within its window. If you turn on the slideshow and you've got 2 monitors, it'll probably put it on the other monitor that Zoom's not looking at, and you're going to be looking at a blank screen. So what I recommend is read mode. It hides the slide sorter. Get that prep beforehand. And then when you go on air and you share your screen, it's good to go immediately. If you want to roll a video, you have to tell Zoom, take the audio input from my video, not from my microphone. And until you've realized that, you'll be playing video with no sound for a while. And you can't persuade people you're going to save the planet, you know, if you can't get the presentation to work. So those are my top tips. And of course, once you've found investors, then head over to SeedLegals, or even beforehand, we can help you get your advance assurance and then do everything to close your round. And one last thing for me, of course, in your pitch deck, you need to figure out how much to ask and what your valuation should be. And if you go on the SeedLegals resources deal data section, there is a lot of info on how to value your company and how much equity to sell in a round, and also how to justify that to your investors. So I'm Anthony at SeedLegals.com. I'll be around until 7 o'clock, and I will give feedback on pitches, and I'm around if you want any questions or anything I can help with. Thank you.
Anthony, thanks very much indeed. Just for you guys who don't know us, we run, obviously, or I'm the founder of Exponential Events. We've been holding events in the city since 2017 with Anthony and SeedLegals and such like. We're an ecosystem for startups on the basis that we hold 3 events a month. One is a free workshop for companies looking to get investment ready, where Anthony will normally take the stage for an hour plus and explain all the necessary requirements to raise capital. Needs to be in place: legal, subscription agreements, cap tables and such like. Also SEIS and EIS, which I won't go on about now, but is very important. What we then do is we hold a practice pitch event for companies who are looking then to like pitch an event tonight, where again we offer help, advice. It's free again. It's not designed to be a knockdown event. It's designed to be a fun event, but to give founders an idea that they shouldn't try and tell too much. They should try and actually sell their proposition over a couple of minutes or 3 minutes or so on a pitch event, get interest and then carry on. And then obviously events like this, where we are with potential investors, angels, I won't say VCs as such, but we do have some VCs who will look in and follow this event. So that's just a sort of an idea of our environment and our social sort of setup that we've got. Now, I'm not going to chat on too much because we're running on time, and I'm more or less on time at the moment. So I'd like to introduce Maud, who's there. It's looking great.
Yeah.
From Adapt. I'll shut my thing off. You should be able to screen save, share and everything else.
Okay, I'm the guinea pig, I guess.
That's okay. Well, yeah, that's okay.
Let me see if it works. How is this for you guys?
That's working.
Yeah, you can see?
Yep.
Fantastic. Shall I get started?
Yeah, please do. Carry away. Maud from Adapt.
Hi everyone,
Welcome.
my name is Maud. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I know it's a weird situation to be pitching in, but I'm really grateful to be here. I am the co-founder and CEO of Adapt. We were the Young Innovator Awards for CVC in 2019, and we were featured on the front page of the App Store in November 2020. I personally am a state school educated graduate of Cambridge University, and I'm a Teach First ambassador with access to a 15,000 strong network of Teach First teachers. I met my co-founder William at Cambridge. He is a fabulous full stack developer with an MSc in computer science from Imperial College London. And Adapt was actually born when we both met Sarah, who came to us from a PhD in cognitive neuroscience, where she was researching digital mental health interventions for mood disorders in young people. And what she knew from her research was that young people were feeling overwhelmed and spiraling into really poor mental health. A report by Bernardo's in 2018 said that 83% of them felt sad, anxious, or stressed at least once a week due to their exams. And this was something that played out very strongly with my experience in the classroom. So we took a portion of them and we asked them online what would help them feel less overwhelmed. And the overwhelming answer was that it was a really good plan. 89% of them agreed this would make them feel better, but 81% of them said they didn't know how to make that plan. And I'm sure if any of you remember being at school and getting told to make your own revision timetable, you know that it's a massively outdated and inflexible process that's really complicated. So we did it for them. We built a flexible revision timetable by breaking down every GCSE and A-level into every module and topic and getting them to rate their confidence red, amber or green on every single one of them. We then used a smart algorithm to create an app which prioritized and personalized a revision timetable to them around their specifications. It was specific, targeted, and above all, it was flexible. If they didn't get everything done, we would just automatically replan it to another time when we knew they were available. We've had spectacular traction and adoption so far. We maintain a CPA of just 8p on Facebook and Instagram advertising. We own the keyword revision timetable, which gives us over 20,000 searches per month. But actually our most growth has been through word of mouth, both through viral work with assemblies and kids telling each other in classrooms, but also through them sharing it organically on Instagram and Snapchat. So as a result, we've had over 230,000 downloads in a year, despite 2020 being the first year in history that they did not run the GCSEs and A-levels. They even did that during World War I and II. We maintain a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, and a survey that we took of our users last summer showed that 79% of them got above a 7 at GCSE last year or above an A at A-level. Now, we know that these have to be taken with a pinch of salt because those exams didn't really happen as usual last summer. So we've been kind of looking a little bit more at the softer data of the testimonials that we get from kids, which is what really matters to me as a previous teacher, because we can see the impact that we're having on them and how much they really love what we're offering. In terms of how we've made money so far, we are a multi-sided business, totally free for students to use, monetized via targeted advertising. And we have a contract already negotiated and ready to go with a media buying company called Educate, who do advertising for universities and young people's job opportunities. Now, it's a very valuable audience because universities and recruiters have big budgets for this kind of advertising. And currently they can only advertise on Facebook and Instagram to 14 to 18-year-olds, whereas we can find them, for example, female state school educated students in the northeast of England who are studying maths at A-level, which is really important for their quotas and their ability to reach students all over the country. In terms of our future plans for 2021, in 2021, ADAPT is releasing ADAPT for Schools, which is a dynamic dashboard which displays the progress and confidence levels of an entire school community on every area of the curriculum. And it allows school leaders to see instantly which subjects, year groups and classes need the most support. And we're going to ask schools to pay for this for a diverse revenue stream. We're calling it Google Analytics for Schools. And it's a dashboard which starts really high level and it shows a school leader like a head teacher or the head of a multi-academy trust the stats for entire school communities at a glance. But as you click through, the data becomes more and more granular and you can see how confidence and progress starts to change over time. It finishes up with a pupil voice comment feed where students can anonymously tell teachers in their own words what's confusing them. Now, every time I show this to a teacher, I always am very worried that they're going to say, this is a disaster. We're just going to have kids saying, I hate school, miss, this is rubbish. But actually, this is something which is incredibly valued by teachers because this is something that's incredibly valued by Ofsted. Having the ability to express in your students' words what it is they didn't understand and what interventions you put in place to rectify those things is something that you kind of can't do at the moment and no one else is trying to do it. Lots of companies are doing something similar for kind of big corporates. Tiny Pulse would be an example of a company which is trying to survey employees all the time, but no one is asking students where they're happy, where they're confident, and how schools can do better. We currently have a foothold in over 5,000 schools globally with the free app, and I randomly surveyed a sample of 76 of those. 100% were interested in the concept behind ADAPT for Schools, and 90% of them have requested a trial when it goes live. We're going to go into live beta with a whole school in East London on March the 8th when the schools return. And then we're going to be making it available to schools from June when the 2021-22 budgets come in, because it's quite a specific window. We're going to be capitalising, we hope, on the 302 million COVID recovery premium, which is being levied to state schools. And we're hoping to reach all 4,188 secondary schools in the UK by 2024. So we're therefore raising a bridge of 150,000, although we have permission to raise up to 225,000. This has already been agreed by a shareholders resolution with our existing shareholders. We are EIS approved, and this is going to take us between 12 and 18 months of runway. 150 grand would take us to this time next year, 225 would take us all the way to summer 2022, ensuring that whatever happens with exams in the next 2 years, we have the capacity to get to profitability. We are looking for investor partners to join our journey, and we hope that we are going to become the calendar for the world's 261,220,418 students. Thank you very much and good night.
Well, that was great. Thanks very much indeed. Can I just ask you to stop sharing your screen for a second? Now, what we're going to do is put these any questions for Maud and also anybody else pitching at the moment into chat rooms, and we'll get them answered either directly from Maud or via the chat, or again on the free open networking, call it what you wish, open forum later on, because generally speaking, having run physical events and also virtual events, it can drag on, and again, as I say, other people want to speak, and the whole idea of this is to get the introduction out there. We'll video it, we'll send it to people who can't attend, I've had a couple of VCs and angel investor companies today saying, look, sorry, last minute now, can't do it, but please send me the pictures, please do this. So we'll do that. I will actually just say one thing in the meantime, that Anthony's here, and it is worth obviously a minute or 30 seconds. Anthony, if you have any comments, not as an investor, but just generally speaking.
Yeah, so thank you. That was an awesome pitch. I mean, the pace was great, the enthusiasm was there, you had it down pat. Usually I suggest the team section at the end, but actually you put the team at the beginning and it worked really well because it showed the, you know, the motivations of the team and how the one thing led into the other. So I think that was perfectly pitched. The 230K downloads is a great number. That didn't quite sync with some of the things you said later about, you know, just starting trials now and so on. So as an investor, we're not going to do this now, but I would be asking about those. I think also, I'm not sure you showed how you would make money, which then led to the next thing, which is this really for schools or is it for students? So are you using the students to get to the schools or the schools to get to the students? And anytime you've got two parts of the market, you know, are students forced to use it, or they use it because it's cool and they get benefit and then the school gets data? And I think that's something to explore a little bit more, both for your own app development, to see who you're really targeting and who you really want to win. And then I think the last one, you've done such a great job showing the markets and the opportunity and so on. I think it was almost a slight anticlimax when you said you're raising 150K bridge, for two reasons. One, the word bridge, I think you should lose, because bridge sounds just like a temp thing, because actually for the investor, this is the moment. If you tell them a bridge, well, it's like your history in a few weeks' time or months' time. And I think if you've got, you know, by the way, when you get your SEIS and EIS advance assurance, you're not limited to raising that amount. You can keep offering EIS beyond that. It's not limited. It's just you've got permission that you can tell people, I've got my SEIS and EIS. So I would have thought that from your pitch, I would probably, from the level of traction and the interest, probably looking for you to say you're going to raise 250K, for example, remove the word bridge, look into, you know, last for 12 to 18 months. And then I think the one last piece, which I'd mentioned, which is a sign of traction. So what do you expect to be in 22, 3, 4 in terms of the number of download students and so on. So a bit of feedback there, but otherwise awesome presentation. Thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. And just to speak back to that, I do, if anyone's interested, have all of those things available as P&Ls and CFFs and all of our projections for the next 3 years. It's just the 5-minute time limit is quite limited.
Of course.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah, it is what it is. Founders want to explain everything, and unfortunately, they don't have enough time to do so. And again, please join us for any way we can help. I'm a salesman. I'm private equity based. I've been offshore and onshore and in Asia, and my business partner is on this call, runs a private equity fund as well. And the one thing I try to get over, not so much, not on pitch decks, because we've got the experts who do pitch decks and such like, but actual pitches. And this is in no way a reflection on you. This is generally a reflection on every single person who pitches. They try to tell too much rather than sell, and it should just literally be for what I'm. And again, please don't take this is nothing to do with you. This is from a salesman's point of view. It's like, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. Boom. Initial, okay, wow, knockout punch. Yeah, get in the ring with Tyson. You don't have a question to answer. He knocks you out before you can get there, right? When you wake up, you go, how did you do that? And he goes, well, actually, I did this, and that. Yeah. And that's the key difference between pitch decks and actually pitching. But that was great. It really was. Thank you very much indeed. Right, we're going to move on. I've got Daniel here somewhere.
Hi.
Daniel, are you there?
Evening.
Daniel from JYRNEY. I'll turn my video off and I'll shut up and I'll let you carry on, sir.
All right, just ask that standard Zoom question. Make sure you can see the right screen.
Yeah, we've got you, I think.
Okay. All right, well, thanks. So as I said, I'm Daniel, and I want to introduce you to JYRNEY. And what we've done is build a platform that will bring together all modes of last mile transport. One of the biggest challenges facing businesses when managing employees' travel is the last mile. That last mile is that connective journey between home, train station, meeting, or the office. And when using taxi,
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing your screen share. If is anyone seeing the screen share? I'm not.
Are you not seeing it?
No.
Sorry. Oh,
Okay, great.
what can you see now?
Now we see your screen share.
That works better. Shall I start again? Give me 1 sec. I'll go back to the beginning. Can you see my big slide?
We can indeed.
Perfect. Thank you, Anthony. So, as I said, introduce you to JYRNEY. And what we've done is build a platform that brings together all modes of last mile transport. And the biggest challenge, one of the biggest challenges facing businesses when managing employees' travel is the last mile. And that's the connective journey, which runs between home, the train station, the meeting, or the office. And when using taxis and chauffeurs and coaches and car hire, businesses are spending £3 billion a year, most of which is booked independently by the traveller. And because the average tip is 13% and over half people inflate their expenses by 25%, this is leading to nearly 500 million being spent needlessly. And they're able to do this because there is no central facility enabling businesses to book door-to-door travel with travel and transport companies. Our technology brings together all of last mile transport onto a single platform, and we sell our solution to via transport integrations to travel and transport businesses. And we enable their customers to make door-to-door travel bookings. We improve service through our allocation engine and our whole of market network, ensuring that the right vehicle booked is made at the same time as the rest of their travel options. We increase the safety through our approved and audited supply chain, and we save them money. And we do this through our discounted rates, so group buying, and eliminating unauthorized tips and expense claims. Our target market is the £300 million that's booked via third parties, such as travel management companies. And these companies are effectively travel agents, but for businesses. Since COVID restrictions, customers are mindful that there is less transport options available, with companies like Hertz and Avis and independent taxi companies closing locations. And our research demonstrates customers find value in a secure supply chain with multiple suppliers. Our initial focus, as we mentioned, is on that travel and transport company, and we've got early engagement with businesses, including Stagecoach and Capita. We have a letter of intent, and we're engaging in a joint venture discussions with one of the largest transport businesses in the UK. And the way we make our money is we charge a license fee for the white label platform with a markup per journey. And eventually we'll target corporates directly with our full outsource solution. Our competitors are mainly consumer focused, offering marketplaces in cities. Very few are building apps for companies where they can access their trusted supply chain. Mobilio and Skipper are the closest to what we do. Skipper raised 7 million last year during the pandemic. But they lack our managed service, they lack our proposition, or really they focus on new forms of mobilities in cities. There's a gap in the market for a full service, whole of market provider, which JYRNEY is well placed to take advantage of. I'm lucky to work with a really dedicated and talented team. Michael, our COO, and I met on the board at CabFind, who's the leading taxi aggregator in the UK. And together we led the trade sale of CabFind for Transdev PLC. Lewis has worked in senior enterprise software development roles for major banks, and he's a specialist in API integrations, which is just hugely important for our business model. And as for me, I've done this before. I've led large growth teams for aggregated vehicle rental, chauffeur, for taxi, for companies like Avis and Enterprise, and CabFind. And most recently, I launched a mobility app for Amazon. When we look at our advisory team, so we've got support from the industry, so 2 really senior industry experts, and several organizations, including Set Squared, the Scale Up program, and the Connected Places Catapult. And recently we've worked with the University of Exeter on market research within our target market. We've hit some really ambitious development and commercial goals since we started last year. We are 90% of our minimum viable product complete, and we've demonstrated our platform to several customers that have multi-million pound potential, as we've already discussed. We're in discussion for a pilot to start in early May. In terms of our revenue, 80% of what we take goes directly through to the suppliers. On the list here, journey revenue is what we keep. Break even comes in June 23 as we hit scale, and most of the costs are from sales or platform development. Growth is driven by contracts, and the increases can be seen. These are often valued in the millions of pounds. And we've got experience in this. At CabFind in 2016, we grew the company from 13 million to 21 million. So we've done this before. We're asking for £320,000 to get to our next milestone. This is to further develop our supplier integrations, to go live with our early customers, to build out our sales team, and develop the platform further. It's worth noting we have SEIS and EIS advance approval. In terms of exit, mobility businesses are seeing continual investment even during the pandemic. Move It is just one example of a recent successful exit mid-pandemic last year. And our exit could be to travel management companies such as Trip Actions, American Express, or even someone like Uber or Nexus. So let me bring this all together. We've got an experienced and committed team with building an intelligent platform that's addressing an underserved need. And it's in an attractive market that's seeing some really good returns and exits. And what we're looking for is investment partners to help us get to market, build the market share, and continue to develop this business. Thanks very much for your time.
Daniel, thank you very much indeed. Can you just stop sharing your screen there? That'd be great.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of other interested people. I don't know if Dan Ballin's still there. Dan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Do you have any comments on this? Not obviously long, but just any advice and such like, or
yeah,
comments?
I'm an advisor for Connected Places, but so yeah, well, so I guess there's a whole set of social questions around this. I mean, in terms of how this changes the dynamics in terms of people reducing the amount of tipping that goes on in organizations and driving behaviors and stuff that I guess I'd be interested to know about. I mean, have you spoken to large corporates about whether they allow their employees to tip and stuff?
Yeah, I have done. It happens, the average fare in a non-approved transaction is increased by 13%. So it's not whether it's allowed or not, it just ends up getting written on the receipt. So booking through our platform removes the ability to do that.
So this could drive, so this might be quite hard on the little guy, the independent taxi driver or the independent.
Yeah, it could be. We can allow tipping on the platform if it's wanted. So we can add tips on the platform by the end user if they want to push these through. We tend to find that corporates aren't really keen on it. The other side of it is the rounded up receipts. Our research says that on average, 50% of people, when they get a blank receipt, round it up by about 25% because a month later they can't remember how much the cost was. So there's that lost cost that disappears. But yeah, I understand that we need to work out whether we do or don't do the tipping.
I guess you've got to manage the fact about who the fact you've got multiple stakeholders here. Large corporates are going to be big beneficiaries here, but actually the influencers, the people using it, is actually going to be your average Joe and Joanna employees and stuff, and how you kind of work on the gamification and the interaction and the HCI and all that other stuff. I think it's going to be quite interesting. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I'd love to chat with you offline about this, Daniel. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Can you obviously the pictures are on our website, and I'll put the website link to that today. But again, Daniel, if you can just put your contact details, and if you want to put your pitch on there, or just simply your contact details, then everybody will get it anyway. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Okay,
Neil.
great.
Thanks,
Right, now we're going to move on, and if we can, Olly, are you there?
Hello, Neil.
Yeah, hi Ollie, how are you?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, I'm very well indeed. We've got Ollie from YesRef. I'll stop my video and let you carry on. Are you?
Hopefully you can see my screen and you can see me.
Yes, I can.
Awesome, let's go.
All
Good
yours.
evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name's Olly and I'm the co-founder of YesRef. For any sports enthusiasts with us on the call today, as I'm sure you all know, it's really difficult to find referees. There's no single place to go. It's all about who you know, your local network. There's no easy way to find referees. It's time consuming and it's a very manual exercise, let alone trying to pay referees in the world that we find ourselves in today. For referees trying to find local games, there's no transparency, and it's also a problem for us. As a referee myself for the last 15 years, I've experienced this firsthand, and I find myself communicating to lots of sports providers, multiple leagues, sharing my availability, and not to mention recently sharing my bank details with every club and every venue that I go and visit. So it's becoming more and more challenging. And that's where YesRef comes in. YesRef provides an all-in-one solution, getting rid of all those common frustrations. Our sports providers have got one platform to upload onto their game, onto our #LiveGames list. Very simple one, easy form to complete. And our referees have got an opportunity to view and select the games. And also, we can get paid seamlessly at the same time whilst receiving payment. So there are other companies out there that do what we do in a similar way, but there's no single platform out there that is able to find referees, pay referees in all-in-one, simple to use platform. It ultimately, bringing it together is what makes us very different and able to scale that across multiple sports, multiple countries. So last year, in the short time that we were able to operate, what with the lockdowns that we all experienced, August through to October, we were able to create some really exciting traction. And in the short time that we had in 3 months, we had over 400 users. We grew to 350 games on the platform. And as you can see here, I've shared a few snippets of the quotes that we've had from our users who absolutely loved it, and it certainly made their lives easier. How does it work? How do we get paid? Well, quite simply, we have a really simple business model. For our sports providers, the opportunity to find and pay referees is a simple £4 fee. That gives you the opportunity to find and pay a referee for one game, quite simply. And for our referees, it's free to use. It's free to get paid. And if they choose a game from the platform, they pay a simple £2 from their game fee. Dead simple, right? So what does the opportunity look like for YesRef? Well, quite simply, as you all know, sport is played all over the world. We are focusing our initial market on the UK and specifically within football. But we have exciting growth plans to expand beyond that and go into other areas of the world. But to give you a flavour of what this really looks like, there is over £16 billion spent on referees globally, which equates to over 200 million sports games played annually across multiple sports all over the world. What does the forecast look like for us and what's the opportunity? Well, quite simply, we've been conservative. What we're sharing with you here is the opportunity to operate YesRef with football in the UK only. So we haven't focused on any other sports. We hope to grow to 1.8 million in year 3 with a really exciting net profit of 36%. And then we're going to move on to year 5, exit. And this business opportunity will be a really nice bolt-on for a couple of sports companies out there who are looking for a vertical SaaS solution. We're looking for an angel investors to join us and grow with us as we expand the business. £270,000 is our ask, looking to achieve 500,000 games per year by 2025. We have EIS and SEIS advance assurance received. And as you can see below towards the bottom of the screen, this is a short snippet of how we intend to spend the money over the next 18 months. And as you'll see, it's focused predominantly on marketing and developing the product. So I'll leave you with one final thought. Are you ready to change the game? It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Olly, thanks very much indeed. That was, oopsie daisy, I lost my video. That was great. Anthony, would you?
Yeah, so hi.
Little comment. Yeah.
Very quickly. So hi, Olly. Good to see you again. I've seen you pitch before. Your pitch has been getting slicker each time, so it's really good. I like to see you're actually standing up and moving around. You're proxying actually being in a room. Feels like you're there on stage. So that was very nice. I think I didn't have any particular comments compared to last time. I think there's just two things. One is everyone's showing they've got their SEIS and advanced assurance and the amount they're looking to raise on sort of the last slide, which is spot on. I think one thing on this in the previous presentation was there was mention of an exit. And I'm never quite sure whether it's a good idea or not a good idea to put in your slide deck talk of an exit. So on the one hand, investors like to see a return on capital potential, which either comes from another fundraise or an exit. But on the other hand, if you're already thinking about exit, they might be going, you're not thinking about growing a proper business. So talk about an exit with a bit of caution. Maybe, in my view, might leave it out of the initial pitch deck because your goal is to focus on a brilliant business. And then when you talk to investors one-on-one, you might talk about the exit. But that's nothing to do particularly with your deck. You just happen to have prompted that as a general comment for everyone about whether it's better to mention the exit or not. And Dan, what do you think about exits or not in a pitch deck?
Well, the important thing is you've got to bear in mind the person who's actually going to be investing you is looking for about 3.5 times investment, 2.5 to 3.5 times investment. So I think what is more important is you've got an idea of the kind of investment. I think going into when and being this kind of, look, at the end of the day, there's very few IPOs done. There's only about 11 done last year, for instance, and being very specific, particularly in dynamic world, is very hard. But some idea of the kind of what the likely journey you're going to go on, and will kind of color the kind of, make the investor think, is this the kind of person I want to be? The kind of couple, is this the right person for steering me in this kind of journey as well? So it just paints a picture roughly that you've got some idea that you're ready for this kind of rock and roll journey, because it's not going to be easy.
Okay, thanks, folks. I'll cover a bit on secondary PE sales later. That'd be quite an interesting one. But let's move on for now. Charlie, are you there?
I am. Hi, Neil.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks. How are you?
Great. I'm very well indeed. Thank you. I'll shut myself off. And this is Charlie from Hello Solo. The floor is yours.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much for being here, everyone. I hope you're having a good evening already. It's always slightly nerve-wracking following a couple of people with some excellent pitches, but I will give it my best. As Neil said, I am Charlie Spokes. I'm the founder of Hello Solo, which is the home of dating. Dating should be fun, but too many singles are reporting swipe fatigue when it comes to online dating. COVID has further impacted singles with no in-person dating happening for almost a year, and 7.4 million singles reported feeling lonely during lockdown. In addition, COVID has devastated the hospitality industry, including all the fun places to go on dates. So how are we fixing that with Hello Solo? Well, think Airbnb for the dating industry, a central marketplace for singles to find the best events, date venues, and services the dating industry has to offer, and for businesses to get noticed on a platform dedicated to their target audience. Hello Solo connects the industry in a way that hasn't been done before. A user-friendly search page to personalize the experience. Events use our unique algorithm to manage the gender split at straight events. After an event, singles can match with each other for friendship or romance, and if it's mutual, they can chat. Guests and organizers have a unique dashboard with relevant key statistics. With lockdown easing plans and the UK aiming to vaccinate all adults by the end of July, the future is bright for dating and for singles looking to reconnect in real life. Economists and businesses, including ourselves, are getting ready for a second roaring 20s once the pandemic is over. The dating industry is in high demand at the moment, with Bumble's recent IPO hitting the headlines this month. We started life as a unique events company specializing in zero-pressure dating events. We crowdfunded in 2019, and frustrated with the lack of dating functionality from existing event platforms, we built our own. This attracted the attention of other dating event companies who wanted to list their events on our platform to sell tickets. COVID has enabled us to use this feedback along with our experience to build a product which is perfectly placed to deliver everything for singles, with dating events and services like matchmakers, dating coaches, and date venues all in one place. Mintel projects that the UK dating industry will be worth an estimated 265 million in 2025. In addition, the global online dating market is expected to grow from $2.2 billion US in 2019 to 3.6 billion by the end of 2025. There are also 17.8 million singles in the UK. Our aim is to reach 1 million of those singles in the first 3 years. By bringing together the best of event platforms like Design My Night and Eventbrite, as well as existing dating directories like Top 10 and Dating Experts, Hello Solo will become the home of dating. Our unique dating-specific features like our ticket algorithm, review system, and match and chat functionality are key to keeping ahead of the competition. We've been beta testing our platform over the past couple of months, and I'm so excited to announce that we actually went live this morning. It's been a busy day. Our Facebook advertising trials for beta have yielded an engagement cost of a penny and a click-through cost of 33 pence across all user groups. Our go-to-market strategy is to build the supply first and then use our database from My Friend Charlie to kickstart our launch. New feature development and national rollout will be ongoing. Between 2014 and 2018, Eventbrite saw the number of dating events listed on their platform grow 400%. Through our beta testing, we already have buy-in from a number of well-known matchmakers, dating event companies, and dating coaches who are lined up and ready to use Hello Solo to promote their events. We anticipate strong growth of offline dating events once COVID restrictions allow. My Friend Charlie events will underpin our revenue from day one as a tried and tested product. Building on this, we have a subscription model initially for businesses, but this can be extended to singles in the future. A large percentage of our revenue will come from commission on third-party ticket sales and event promotion fees. We'll also work towards building sponsorship and advertising revenue as we grow. There's a fifth potential revenue stream, which comes from franchising or licensing. We have an experienced team, including our original events team, our amazing tech partners, Studio Graphene, who have invested in the business, and Disruptive Thinking, who are a B2B specialist marketing and business development consultancy. We also have 2 exceptional advisors who have helped guide us since the start of this journey. We're raising £250,000 on a pre-money 2.5 million valuation for marketing, key staff hires and tech. This gives us a runway of at least 18 months. We've already received EIS advanced assurance and we're looking to close a round before the end of the financial year. In summary, we have industry experience, we've got traction and buy-in from some big names in the industry, and the technological advantage with our unique ticketing algorithm and a fully invested development agency. We're also the first to market. If you'd like to invest, I'd really love to speak to you. Thank you.
Charlie, thanks very much for that. Again, just can you put your contact details in the chat?
Sure.
We've got your, I'll resend that, but we've got your pitch up online as well on our event site. I don't want to go too far on this one, but Anthony, do you want to have a little comment here?
Yeah, very, very briefly.
I think it's useful for everybody, and you know, it's please carry on.
Yeah, very briefly. So Charlie, good to see you again. So I've seen a pitch before. I've loved the evolution of it. I think you've tightened up some of the things from last time around previous companies and so on. So really nice. Love the bright colors. Congrats on launching today. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I've always said that slide decks, where relevant, should not just acknowledge COVID, that actually, in a sense, embrace it. But yours is the first that I've seen, which has actually been embracing the end of COVID. And, you know, we've been in this, particularly anyone in physical events, it's been really tough presenting for the last year. It's like, when's it going to end? But now we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And in the same way that everyone is itching to get on an aeroplane and go to a beach somewhere, likewise to meet people physically again. So I think actually acknowledging that, saying I'm raising now, I will be launching, this will be huge coming up soon, and actually maybe even leveraging further that everyone acknowledges that that's going to pick up. And I see a company on SeedLegals that does the audio guides and so on for museums going, exactly, everyone's going to be back out soon. So I very much like that. By the way, I don't know if you know Nick Telson from My Date Night. If you're looking for an intro there, he sold My Date Night. He's a serial angel investor these days. Drop me a note if you would like an intro. I think that's just it from me. Dan, anything? You're on mute, Dan. Yeah.
Thanks, Anthony. Great improvement, Charlotte. I've seen you before. Just one thing that to be careful of is not to read the deck out. So it kind of got a little better as it went on, but at the beginning it's just an irritant for the what you said was good. The tone and pace was nice, but it does catch the viewer's attention a bit.
Sure.
So
Thank you.
that, I'm not sure whether you should kind of bury the fact that you're so tied into with the travel and the event industry and everything else, or I think the fact or acknowledge it more. I don't know, but there is a kind of the whole dating business and the whole dating sector and the event sector has just been decimated really since COVID. So I think the fact that you put it in there is good, but maybe it just and reading through the deck, the word events is everywhere, and it just might give alarm bells. I find the investor community is naturally cautious.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. We obviously, events are a predominant part of who we are and what we do. So it's sort of not beating around the bush about getting out there, and we're really excited that the news is sort of showing that we're getting towards that stage finally.
And congratulations as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Charlie, I'm sure we can do something together with some events.
Love it. Yeah. Let's have a chat.
We'll break out from capital raising to dating.
Why not?
Yeah. Hey,
similar format, right?
No problems at all. Look, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say, Anthony, thank you very much. I know you've got a prior engagement, much appreciated. Anthony's going to be for anybody who's not with another workshop for capital raising companies with Anthony on the 17th of March. I'll put all that on the website and send it to you guys for the companies that are looking to further raise. And we've got a practice pitch with Anthony on the 2nd of March as well. And these are quite interesting ones for also the investors who are here tonight, because they get first glimpse at interesting new concepts prior to pitching events like this. And we are putting together a panel. We've got Dan, we've got Anthony, we've got Craig, we've got a few other people who turn up to these events, and they never say anything, but they'll look at the pitches, what's going on, and contact relevant companies. So Anthony, thanks very much.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. Yeah,
thanks.
Right, now let's move on. Jules, are you there, sir? Sorry.
Hi, can you hear me?
Jules, there you are. All in.
Cool, is that showing?
It is now. I'll cancel my video. Please carry on, sir.
Okay. Hi, my name's Jules. I'd like to introduce you to ALLIN, an app for planning all of your social events and activities. So I've always been a very keen social organizer. I'm the guy that sends out the invites for an activity idea and then is there at the end taking away the spreadsheet, working out who owes what. I'm a sports coach, a parent of many children that are members of many clubs and teams, and we find there's a lot of frustration that so much of this is organised through chat groups these days, which aren't suited to that purpose. So much of the information gets lost: who's coming, who's not, where have we got to be. Organising dates means a lot of back and forth. Invariably, there's always some kind of cost element, which makes it difficult to keep track of who owes what. And then when it comes to payment, that's done in multiple channels and is also difficult to track. So the answer is ALLIN, a one-stop shop solution for all of your event planning and management. So you can build your events separate from the chat area. You can easily find dates that work for everyone. You can capture costs as you go through the activity you're doing. It'll work out the splits for you and allow you to pay people back directly through the app. So you can make any kind of event with ALLIN, a drink with some friends, a football match with a club. But given the announcements this week about coming out of lockdown and the overnight surge of bookings that we saw at TUI, let's book a weekend away in Amsterdam. And through the app, that's easy. You simply create the event, work out some dates that might work, and invite your friends. They'll then get an invite which has the dates available for them to look at. They can look at those, compare them against what availability they have in their calendar, and mark down the dates they can make. As organizer, you can then see the summary of those dates and create an event separate to the chat area, which has all the information about where you've got to be and when, who's coming. And importantly, as you go through the weekend, you can keep track of all the different costs everyone can add in themselves, and ALLIN will then work out the bill for you, allow you to pay separately outside the app and record it, or through our partner open banking app, EcoSpend, which will allow you to pay in just a few taps of your thumb. Which means it makes it easy for you and you can just relax and start planning for the next activity. So we launched our MVP in September, and despite all of the COVID restrictions that were introduced during that period that ultimately led in lockdown, we saw great take up with a 19% average week-on-week growth, which validated this as an idea that people want. So we're targeting the UK leisure market initially, so sports clubs, students, people away on weekends. But we're also looking to disrupt the major players that you can see on the right-hand side. And why do we think we can do that? Well, all of those apps are great at their own component parts of what they do, but none of them bring all of the things together you need for planning and managing an activity. So specifically the planning and cost management elements that ALLIN does. ALLIN will be free for everyone to use, but underpinned by transaction fees for all payments made. And the really cool stuff will be there for the premium users. And for those, think of organisers within your groups. So we've met with lots of those and we've talked to them, and the prices you can see on screen are what they've given us as an average, as figures they would be prepared to pay for an app like ALLIN. Not just because it makes their lives easier, but also we found organisers generally end up out of pocket and give up trying to chase people for the final amounts owed, and ALLIN will help with that too. So we've been working on our MVP with universities and sports club, working with a company called Invades that's got over 700 influencers at universities across the UK. And the plan is to carry on working with those groups. We've seen sports clubs move away from established team apps to use ALLIN because they like its simplicity. My background is in management consultancy, specialising in delivering software projects as part of small teams to meet user need. I'm supported by Rhett, who's an expert in software development and a specialist in open banking payments. We've got a wealth of experience across our advisory board with Toby, who's an expert in growth and scale, Tom, who's a multiple founder UK top 30 under 30, and Richard and Louis, who've got years of experience and a wealth of knowledge when it comes to successful startups. And ALLIN isn't just for now, it's an enduring solution to social planning and getting together. However, we recognise that there is an unprecedented demand for activities as the vaccine rollout kicks in, and we want to take advantage of that. Last week, the Bank of England described the UK economy as being poised like a coiled spring and underpinned by strong household finances, which we recognise as a particular opportunity to allow us to grow quickly over the next 18 months. And to that end, we're looking for £250,000 as our pre-seed round to give us the runway to allow us to get the product exactly right and grow beyond 10,000 paying customers. We have our SEIS and EIS advanced assurance, and we'd love to chat to you about it further. Thank you for your time.
Jules, thanks very much indeed. Can you just stop sharing that? There we go. Great. we're going to run on now because then it gives us a run off later on, so we can open the form and everything else. So EDNOLOGY, Tom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Neil.
Okay, welcome, sir.
Hi, thank you for having us.
No, you're welcome. I'll let you carry on. I'll close my video down. Let's say we can run this meeting on, so it's not a problem, but I want to get through the pitches normally as quickly as possible. But please take the stage or the floor, and off you go, sir.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name's Tom Martin, and I'm the founder and CEO of EDNOLOGY. EDNOLOGY launched in 2018 with a mission to drive innovation in education. We're doing this by creating pragmatic solutions to the barriers that schools face. Bit of retrospective, this is a typical classroom scene from the time when I was at school in the 80s. As you can see, it was very teacher-centered, the teacher taking the role of a sage on the stage, the font of all knowledge, and the children were regarded as empty vessels that needed filling. Rote learning activities were common, such as copying chunks of text from books. Fast forward 40 years to the present day, and things look very different. There's now a focus on student-centered learning, and students can learn in ways that they've never been able to before. Students are at the center of their own learning, and there's a focus on the skills that young people will need for the jobs that don't yet exist. Creativity, critical thinking, teamwork, collaboration, and research shows that the highest levels of learning and the deepest understanding of a subject occur when students are actively engaged in their learning. Schools struggle with technology, and whilst there are many schools excelling with technology, they are still the exception rather than the norm. The pace of change is such that teachers find it almost impossible to keep up. Teachers are time poor and they don't have hours to spend researching the latest innovations. Schools have lots of other priorities, like dealing with COVID, inspections, and funding issues. More often than not, there's a leadership vacuum, so nobody in a school driving change, and therefore a lack of training and support for new ways of working. Despite these challenges, the global education technology market is very large, and it's expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 18% over the next 7 years. And we aim to corner around 1% of that market, that serviceable, addressable market in the markets in which we're working, which are primarily the UK, Europe, and the US. Now, selling to schools is a challenge, but our team has a wealth of experience, and that all forms part of our secret sauce. Our solution is the EDNOLOGY ecosystem. We're bringing together the world's leading edtech products, people, partners, and projects together under one roof to become a complete one-stop shop for education technology. Here you can see a showcase of our current platforms and a flavor of things to come. On our corporate site, we're going to showcase our top educators and partners from around the world. On our marketplace, schools can find every piece of technology they could ever need, from their infrastructure, classroom AV, through to devices and software. Our resources platform will bring together latest news, innovations, lesson plans, and projects. Our directory will form the checker trade for IT service providers, and our consultancy marketplace will instantly connect schools with the world's leading education technology experts. Since launch, we've achieved significant success and growth for ourselves and our partner companies, most notably our revenue, so 425K to date. And we've completed 2 large-scale consultancy projects, one in Poland and one in the UK, and that's all without any external funding. We work with some fantastic partner companies, Shape Robotics, who have recently raised a €2 million seed round. We have a distribution contract for their products, and we've sold £80,000 of their products to date. EDNOLOGY has become one of the best resellers of the Hue HD Pro camera, which has become very useful for remote and distance learning, having sold more than 3,000 units in the last 9 months. We have a partnership with Redbox VR, which is a UK class virtual reality solution, and we're currently planning a strategic market entry to the US with exclusive distribution rights. Our ambition is for Ethnology to become the #1 place in the world that schools go for all of their education technology. We've laid some very firm foundations. We're on the first page of Google for many of the products that we sell in the UK without a penny being spent on SEO to date. It's all organic traffic, and organic traffic is going to become more important as companies are vying for advertising space. We have a very scalable business model, which is evident by our success to date with a very small core team. And this has recently been augmented by a 9-strong advisory board covering every facet of our business. In terms of future growth, we're going to build on our early traction, and we plan to launch a subscription model for technology for schools, and eventually leading through to technology subscriptions and memberships for all of our stakeholders. The future of education looks set to include augmented and virtual reality and personalization, using artificial intelligence and machine learning. Nobody knows what the future holds, but we want to be at the forefront of innovation in education. So we're currently raising 150k pre-seed round, aiming to close before the end of the financial year at a £1.75 million valuation. The use of the funds is for international expansion. Our platform is already built for the US market, and we're already receiving significant interest. Just today, we've had several inquiries from the US for our virtual reality solutions I showed you earlier. So we're already building a pipeline there. We're aiming to build the team up to a core team of 10 across key roles such as sales, marketing, operations, and customer service by the end of the year. We want to utilize the time-sensitive opportunity presented by the focus on remote and distance learning to bring our market-leading remote distance learning solution to market, and invest significantly in sales and marketing to grow user adoption across the UK and Europe. The time is now to get on board with us. So if you're an investor looking for disruption in marketplaces, e-commerce and edtech, then we'd love to talk to you. We're aiming to raise follow-on funding in a full seed round at 1.6 times valuation in 8 months' time. Could this be the future of Ethnology?
Tom, thanks very much indeed. That was great.
Thank you.
We're going to run on because then we've got some time afterwards. If you can just stop sharing that, that's great. Andrew, are you there? There you are.
Can you hear me?
How are you? It's Andrew from DayMade. I'll close my video down and let you.
Let me just share my audio real quick. All right, can you hear and can you see?
Yeah, we've got it. We've got the screen. We've got your audio. Thanks very much.
Perfect. So I'm Andrew, co-founder and CEO of DayMade, and our vision is very much to spread happiness and possibility while making a positive impact on the planet. So you may not know this, but across the world, more money is spent on lottery tickets than on books, movies, music, and sporting events combined. Yet lotteries haven't really had their Netflix or Airbnb moment of disruption yet, and they're losing its appeal with young people. And that's where we come in. So what we're aiming to do is reimagine this market for the next gen audience by offering prizes from brands that they really love and care about. So how are we different from traditional lotteries? Well, first of all, we're not a gambling product. We actually offer sweepstakes and prize draws, as you may have seen on ITV competitions. Secondly, we're turning the traditional lottery model on its head. Instead of focusing on multi-million-pound unwinnable jackpot prizes, we redistribute that return to player across lots of winners and prizes big and small. We also steer clear of cash prizes because we deliberately try to avoid people playing purely for financial gain. And it allows us to focus on prizes that people actually care about and experiences they love. Finally, we're building a real fun, authentic, social media-led community. And I think it's really this brand building, it's important that we build something that players want to be associated with, they want to take part in, and it's fun to take part in. And we believe this will be a key part of our defensibility and success in the long term. So we're a team of 4 co-founders with a broad sense of skills across commercial, marketing, user experience, software engineers. We're also very lucky that we benefit from the strategic backing of a company called Zeal Ventures. They're an operator in the lottery space, but also an investor, and they've invested in companies like Lotto24, Pick My Postcode, and Omaze. They're actually going to be leading this round and have already committed 35% of the round going forward. So ultimately, what's our solution? Daymade, what we're doing is we're creating a win-win platform for our players, for our prize partners, and for the planet. It's very simple to play. You enter our competitions every Friday at 5 p.m. You choose 5 numbers, and then based on how many numbers you match, you get assigned a prize from our vast prize category, which includes travel, lifestyle and beauty, experiences, and tech. We also plant a tree with every transaction. We have a partnership with Trees for the Future, and I'm proud to say that we've planted over 130,000 trees to date and counting. The business model is very straightforward. We acquire most of our players through Facebook and Instagram, and you pay £3 a ticket. Most of our players are weekly subscribers, so we get a recurring subscriber income. Gross margins are around 42%. We also enjoy a prize arbitrage. So we source prizes at a discount and we give them away at face value. Our core audience is very much female, 75% female. 70% of them are between the ages of 18 and 35. So definitely that millennial and Gen Z demographic, but I'll let them speak a little bit more for themselves.
So what I most love is that you actually win.
With every ticket you buy, you're planting a tree. So you get a really good feeling every time you enter.
The team there, they're also helpful and friendly. So they come across like your friends, which is great.
I love the family environment it creates.
It's definitely kind of makes me look forward to my Fridays at 5 o'clock.
Prizes offered are incredible. There's so much to choose from, there's so many different choices. It's something I look forward to every single Friday.
Great, I hope that video worked and you can actually see it and hear it. But jumping quickly into our performance to date. So 2020 was a pretty turbulent year given COVID, but we managed to come out, I think, on top. We saw quarterly growth from Q1 to Q4, 338% increase in our billings, and we've grossed 350K billings overall. Q1 2021 is looking very promising, and we expect to see around 80K in subscriber billings alone. Over the next 5 years, we believe we can achieve 40 million in revenues. It's a very scalable model. We believe we'll keep the gross margins flat at 42%, and we think we can fully break even in year 3 with operational break even by end of year 1. Generally speaking, we hope I don't know if you've come across a company called Best of the Best. These guys are publicly traded and they offer car raffles that you used to see in airports when we used to fly. If we can get to that size by year 5, that would be great. And in year 10 and beyond, our real hope is to become a UK household name and a compelling alternative to the National Lottery. Our ask is a £500,000 minimum raise. We have 205,000 already committed, and Zeal Ventures have confirmed that they'll be leading the round. We have EIS advance assurance, and we have a little bit of SEIS available left over from the last round. In terms of use of funds, we'll be using it to scale our player acquisition across core channels such as Facebook, test new channels and diversify our acquisition strategy, and also expand the team with a few hires across marketing, engineering, and prize fulfillment support. So on that note, I'll leave you with this summary. and look forward to any inbound requests about more information.
Andrew, thanks very much indeed. We're running short. We'll run some time on this one, so it's not a problem. But is Alexei there?
Yeah, I'm here, Neil.
Hi, Alexei. Right, the floor is yours. Welcome again, my dear friend.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Great to see you.
I'll turn my video off and please carry on.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Great.
Hang on.
Did you know that 95% of traders lose money? Let me tell you a story about how I made my first trade about 20 years ago. I had a bit of spare cash and decided to invest into a health stock. Bought a few shares of Oxford Health Plan, went away for a little bit, just to find out that I lost 33% of capital upon the return. This type of story is heard too often in the traders community. Inexperienced traders need help choosing stock and tracking their goals. They need help knowing when to let go of a toxic asset. Hello, my name is Alexei Mirkin, and I'm the founder and CEO of Alpha Seeker. We are a social network for traders. We have developed an app for the iPhone, which will allow ambitious investors to make money. The secret sauce that differentiates us from the competition is our unique recommendation engine we use to profile stocks. It provides frequent recommendations backed by 15 years of data research. We're hoping to start out in the UK. The market size is tremendous. Global market size is about $89 trillion, but we're hoping to start out in the UK in the mobile direct investment space, which is $20 billion. There's a decent amount of competition in the space, but the size of the market is so tremendous, and the opportunity is so great in the realm of what's happening in the world today based on COVID and everything, that this is one of the few sectors that really is thriving through this pandemic. Our business model is basically half commission, half subscription, where we're charging very light transactional fees. We are going to charge for premium analytics if users want to buy our premium services. The social network part of the app is AI moderated, which makes it really nice because people can socialize without us having to invest into moderating the forum, so to say. Our portfolios that the algorithm generates, they outperform the benchmark consistently. And we are part of several programs that will help us bring this product to market. As you can see here, we have already built the app, and it has been launched to Expo. And later in the presentation, you'll be able to get the link for it. The app is cross-platform. It works both on the iOS and Android. I'm the founder and CEO, obviously, and I have recruited an advisor who's willing to become the CTO if we secure the financing necessary to move forward. Basically, we're both software guys. We're looking to solidify the team and recruit business people on the team to help us take this product to market. We're asking for £800,000 for 20% equity. The reason that we're asking for 800,000 is because we have extra expenses. So the average seed round in the UK is 500K, and the reason that we want the extra 300 is because we need the extra 50 grand to get through the FCA licensing, and then we also need to establish a relationship with a liquidity provider, and that relationship is fairly expensive to establish because they want a security deposit, and that security deposit is in the realm of 250,000. So this is what the deal details are, and I'm available for conversations about it, and the app link that's published on Expo, so you can actually check out the app yourself and see what you think of it. It's if you have trouble setting that up, give me a call. We haven't published the app to the App Store obviously yet, but we're working on that. Thank you very much.
Alexei, thank you. That was great. Right, Ando, are you there? There, I can see you. I can see you, sir. Ando from HAPPANING.
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome to our event, and the floor is yours, sir.
Brilliant. So if a picture tells 1,000 words and video 1,000 pictures, then what could we do with 1,000 videos? My name's Ando, founder, CEO, and this is HAPPANING.
That night was epic, but these clips won't take me back again. Sliding through these feeds just to see what they were capturing, saddening. Cause if happening, there's another way. Now I'm on this wave like the other day. Swipe, this is happening. Swipe, check it. Happening's the app where you create and you share content you can move around in, like taking you there. You just swipe, I make it real clear. You wanna get to know. Happening's like using Street View but with video. Swipe, here we go. Swipe, swiping through the audiences, you saw the difference. Multi-vantage videos, or just call them vivid. Swipe like you bought tickets to performances. Just swipe. Right, listen, so if you rate truth or suspected fake news, why not get a second perspective and change views? Just swipe in the direction that you want to change to. Swipe and you see what they see, break you. And if you where the party is, take you to the heart of it. You've even got pins marking out other advantages, and this is just the half of it, cause after it's done, I swipe on demand if it's all the parties we run. We just swipe, starting the fun, we just swipe. So when was the last time you wanted to throw it back again? Come jump on this wave, this is happening.
Now, I probably could have said all of that in just a few slides, but there's a reason the majority of people will watch a video today. With it accounting for 80% of all online traffic, it's fair to say our appetite for videos is insatiable. Yes, videos are a great way of telling compelling stories, but they can also be quite limiting. Let me ask you this. Who'd watch a video if they had a time machine, stay with me, to take them there and live or relive those experiences, perhaps even see things they missed the first time round? Now, before you dismiss time travel as a thing of the future, that future is happening. So what's happening? Happening lets you interactively watch an event from any vantage at any time and from anywhere in one immersive and navigable experience. Think Google Street View, but with video. We call it multi-vantage videos, or just Vivids. Our patented Vivid technology synchronizes multiple video feeds by time, location, audiovisual cues with a proprietary real-time codec. Then by integrating augmented reality overlays, the new media format offers an immersive, vivid experience completely unseen in the UGC market, which is currently worth 63 billion. So whether you're physically there or stuck at home in a national pandemic, you can switch to the front row or any vantage point for that matter by simply swiping in the direction you wish to move in, something 3 out of 5 event goers have identified as a key need according to a recent survey. But let's consider some of the wider applications, from navigating film scenes of VR to security, police body cam, judiciary evidence, and even journalism. Because in an age of fake news, why rely on just one perspective? Yes, the possibilities are endless, but for now, we're focusing Vivid technology on the demographics where we anticipate viral growth, namely event goers. This because our Gen Z focus groups have all indicated that not only use our platform, but also encourage their friends to do so. That's why we're already doing joint ventures with award-winning content creators, and with 90% of event operators considering going virtual, we're now partnered with a network of over 300 vendors desperate to get back to business. This will help us to establish a 5% market footing in 4 years with a freemium model, which compared to some notable competitors is actually quite conservative. So where are we now? Having personally created an award-winning proof of concept myself and filed for patent protection. I've now assembled a very experienced team of hacksters, starting with myself, 10 years engineering experience as a principal consultant at BAE Systems, delivering digital transformation for major telcos, Magic Circle law firms, and various other national security and government bodies. But as the proud inventor of Vivids, I'm supported by award-winning digital strategists, record-breaking serial entrepreneurs and advisors. But in our engine room, we boast over 50 years experience by some of the UK's leading technologists, including the head of cybersecurity at the Department for Transport and the previous digital architect for the Houses of Parliament and the Home Office. Together, we're currently entering alpha with an MVP that will disrupt media consumption as we know it. But this is where we need your help. We're entering into a market right when the world needs us. Because of COVID, our technology represents the best way of being somewhere without physically being there. Our brand is disruptive, hugely memorable, and resonates with our target audience. We've secured SEIS, EIS advanced assurance and are raising 500,000 right now. This isn't just an exciting opportunity. This is happening. Thank you very much.
And
hello.
Yeah, hang on 1 second. I'm trying to turn my video on. I'm blown away personally. Dan, any comments?
Thank you.
We need to talk.
Use the video, by the way.
Much appreciated.
I've seen video used a few times today, and I'm seeing it more and more in pictures. And when used well, it's really great.
Thank you.
Be careful of the name. Just check on the name. Happening. I think there's another at least one other startup that use it, I think.
We own the trademark in the UK and the EU.
Okay, perfect.
For Happening and Vivids.
No.
Well, then keep it and own it, because it's great. It's great. Yeah, keep it. I like it. I like the picture. I like what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right. We'll come back to that in a minute, because we're running, well, not running too much out of time. We can run this on, but I'd love to get Alicia, who I said I'd save the best till last on. So Alicia from BOHEME, can I invite you to take the stage, please?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, darling.
Okay. All good? You can see me?
I can see you.
Great. Fab. Okay. Have you ever imagined shoes made from pineapple leaf fiber, apple skin, and recycled materials? Well, imagine no more, because here they are. At BOHEME, we do things differently. We are a purpose-driven business on a mission to bring distinctly designed, beautiful shoes made from innovative fabrics and vegan for the people, planet, and animals. Hi, I'm Alicia, founder of BOHEME, and I could not find vegan shoes that were both fashionable and sustainable. I'm a passionate entrepreneur who has been challenging the status quo of fashion for over a decade, and I am seeking partners with a shared vision to drive a sustainable fashion future. Why vegan footwear, you ask? The fashion industry is considered to be the second most polluting industry, with many women and children not treated or paid fairly. Leather production is linked to serious sustainability issues. There is more vegan footwear on the market, but it's often made with very unsustainable material such as PVC. We've also found a lack of striking everyday luxurious footwear on the market, and this is especially relevant in COVID times where people are looking for practical, beautiful footwear. We therefore fill the gap perfectly for a vegan footwear brand with distinct design flair, made perfectly sustainably and at an accessible price point. So what's our mission? Simple: to be the world's leading vegan design brand. Beautiful versatility, functional sustainability, and divine vegan. And why us? There's a lot of greenwashing happening out there now, but we are experts in sustainable fashion. Ethics and sustainability has always been in our heart since inception. I've guest lectured at the London College of Fashion, the Fashion Retail Academy, and have been featured on BBC Radio. As an expeditress, I'm also an expert in foot health. BOHEME aspires to be a circular fashion brand. Creation with intention is our thing, and we design out waste and pollution from the from the fashion and the food industries. We will also look at recycling our shoes into soles. We are a proven proposition with 2 million earnings to date, 20,000 pairs of shoes made. Our average order value is £186 with a customer lifetime value of £895. We have a loyal customer base of 15,000 and 26,000 followers. The opportunity is perfect. Veganism and sustainable fashion interest is booming. There are 78 million vegans worldwide, and the global vegan footwear market worth £21.4 billion. The global vegan women's fashion market is worth £300 billion. In a Mintel report, the 3 concerns for consumers when they go shopping for fashion is plastic pollution, animal welfare, and treatment of workers. Also, too, in COVID times, it's actually making people think a little bit more consciously about their decisions and their purchases. BOHEME has been built into a much-loved vegan brand with a proven revenue. I was absolutely delighted to introduce vegan footwear to the Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Daniel of Sweden. We've been featured across much press, and our growing customer fan base includes Natalie Portman, Bryan Adams, and Tori DeVito. Additional business opportunities we have that I'm currently in conversation with a HBO TV series to produce footwear for a vegan celeb. I'm negotiating with a well-known French footwear brand to develop their capsule vegan trainer collection, and they would consider a co-brand with us once we have launched. I'm also speaking with a vegan US celebrity who has shown interest in investing in the company and would front our launch. BOHEME will be a direct-to-consumer brand. Our price range will be £180 to £350 with an average growth margin of 60%. Our customer acquisition costs, we're looking at 44.11 in year 2022, reducing down to 31.72 in the year 2023. We are looking at revenue of 6.3 million with 2.5 million beta by year 3. We have a great team of ladies running this team. We have myself, innovative, sustainable footwear person, and then we have Daryl, Dahlia, and Millie, all with 20 years plus experience within finance, footwear development and production, and footwear design. And of course, not forgetting our all-important factories and suppliers we've been working with in Portugal. Our ask is 900,000. BOHEME has always been self-funded, and this fund will allow us to launch an aggressive push to grow out exponentially into both the UK and US markets with exceptional product design and development, strengthening our team, marketing, working capital, and implementation of our growth strategy. I could go on all day about BOHEME, but let our customers do that for you. They think our shoes are exquisite. They never come across vegan shoes that are so wonderful. They think quality and craftsmanship is a trademark of all our shoes. We have a great number of fans and customers, and they have bought multiple pairs of shoes over a number of years. I'd just like to end to say that it's wonderful to be able to run a business based on my ethics as a vegan. I'm passionate, and that's it. Thank you.
Alicia, thank you very much indeed. Right, we're gonna, well, we run over, but it doesn't matter because our Zoom can run on forever. But what I'd like to do is ask anybody who's got any questions for anybody or comments on various things to, you know, reach out. Want to say anything else, or Dan, if you've got any comments, or Craig in Dubai. We'll have a little bit of a, for want of a better word, a jam session. And by the way, I thought you're and this isn't against anybody else. I loved your concept. I thought it was great. I love most of the concepts tonight, but can we just have a little conversation, or does everyone want to be shy and go home?
I don't mind. There was a couple of questions.
Yeah, please
in
answer
the chat. I was sort of trying to type away, but I'll probably just.
It's better. It's better to explain it. Yeah, I know we're limited on time during the actual pitches, but yeah, fill your boots up.
So there was a question from Shax. I think I pronounced your name correctly. Apologize if I haven't. And they asked, what's the motivation for the people filming to keep their phones out? The short answer to that is we're not necessarily encouraging that behavior, we're leveraging that behavior. Because at the moment, whenever you go to an event, a concert or a wedding, people already have their phones out. And what we're giving people the ability to do is to, quote unquote, pan in any direction that they see fit, depending on which phones are currently out. But also we give them the ability to do the same the next day, so they can revisit these experiences and almost like they were there again. As the video said, it's like Google Street View, but with video. I hope that answers your question. That's okay.
Great. Anybody want to jump in anywhere? Questions? And
so what kind of critical mass then of people using it? Will it start actually having an effect? You guess you've got to build up critical mass?
Yes and no, in the sense that as long as you've got two vantages, you've improved somebody's video experience, because you can swipe between the vantages without it skipping a beat. This is one of the things we demonstrated with our proof of concept. And actually, and what we've also found as well with our focus groups is generally students and Gen Zs, whenever they go to events and they want to capture an event, if you tell them, right, you've got the ability to create this new media format with multiple vantages, they tend to invite their friends to do the same thing. Let's collaboratively create this piece of content, which is a completely new thing when it comes to user-generated content, that crowdsourced collaborative concept.
And what's the business model?
So the long term, or the carrot, is a freemium model. But what we're seeing right now, there's actually quite a lot of demand for curated vivids. So I had to turn down a funeral of all events just this month, where they essentially wanted to pay us to capture their event in this vivid, so that people remote or sort of after the event can again experience that whole event again. And we've got, I don't know if you're aware of this, but like weddings, for instance, is a massive one. You've got over 300,000 weddings a year. 90% of them last year were postponed. So we're going to see an uptick in the next couple years. It's going to be wedding season. Everyone's going to go crazy. And we've positioned ourselves really, really well there with lots of event vendors. But I feel like I'm hogging the stage now. I mean, I'm happy to take any more questions. I really love to.
But in the long term about you don't fall into the trap of you've got to sell it to both individuals or all individuals for this to work, so to speak. You know, the kind of the video conference holds problem in that only one person would buy it at one time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons why we're again going for the events is because, say for instance, the wedding, if you go for the bride and the bride decides, yeah, you know, I'd like to use this platform to capture my event, she's actually encouraging her, I don't know, 100, 200 guests onto our platform. And that's our carrot. Our carrot is sort of the masses. And by using that B2B to C approach, that's where we feel we'll achieve critical mass.
Great slides, by the way. I'm looking at your deck now. Really great slides.
Oh, thank you so much.
You need to say more about the ask, though, I think. That's the only thing I would do, a piece of advice I'd give.
Thank you. I will remember that.
We can carry that one on. Anybody else want to interact? Just ask us any questions or...
I'd just say, Ando, that looking at your deck, there's no contact information either. So as well as the more about the ask, there's no contact information.
Thank you for that catch. Appreciate it. I've put my contact information in the chat if anybody's interested, but I'll certainly take that on board, Kevin. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Kevin, for that comment. Anybody... put my video back on. Anybody want to talk about anything else? How we're going to run our events back to normal? In fact, the funny thing with us is that actually the 28th of February last year was the last actual event we held physically in the City of London. Now, we're not expecting to get back in June, but hopefully after that, because we normally you used to put 100+ people in a room. And the great advantage of doing that was that, you know, I know investors who are interested in certain products, certain companies and such like, and it's just that interaction. And I think going forward, we are going to be doing a mixture of online events, because we've got investors from Dubai, Thailand and such like now who can come online and look at potential startups, whether in the UK or whatever else. But I'm so looking forward to getting back to actually doing what I do well, i.e. introducing potential founders to investors. So there's any thoughts there with people and how things are going to go? Timescales?
Neil,
I mean,
I wondered if there was, if you were thinking about possibly a kind of retrospective event for people that have done these online things, where when we're back in person, we might all be able to meet one another and
Oh, absolutely. Love to. Love to. You know, I'm a people person. That's what I do. I'm a salesman. You know, I've been involved in private equity, introducing, facilitating deals for years. Yeah. And
will there be nibbles? I miss nibbles.
we have nibbles. That's about it. The first event we did canapes. It cost us something like $5,000. Yeah. But yes, to answer your question, there'll be nibbles and drinks and such like. Yeah.
Business opportunity, yeah, disrupting canapes.
We started off in the Capital Club in 2017. I think the event cost us something like £16,000. We made some money out of it, but that's what it cost us with the drinks and everything else. And then we realized that perhaps offering drinks and such like wasn't such a good idea. So we then, and the Capital Club closed, so we went to the Brand Exchange, which is about 2 minutes around the corner from the Bank of England. And we said, basically, like, you can come in, the event's free, other than people are pitching and such like. We put 100, 150 people in the room. But it was like, yeah, if you want a drink, you know, you buy it sort of scenario. And we packed it out. And as I say, the last one we held was literally, I flew back from Thailand because I'm based in, well, I was based in Asia. I haven't been able to get back there, but I flew back late February last year, and we held our last physical event in the Brand Exchange on the 28th of Feb last year. But they're great, because the whole thing about the actual events is I know who you are. I know that I've got an investor who'll be interested in talking to you. It's a little bit more difficult to do it online. Having said that, it opens up different avenues. So yeah. Can't wait to get back and meet people. Anybody else got any gigs?
Do you coordinate feedback and interest with companies post event? So for example,
we do. We've got an investment, Ben. We've got an investment platform, and we've got a private equity company as well. Perhaps Craig will quickly talk to you about that. Craig, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. I'll stop mine for a second. Maybe you have a chat.
Well, this is my first time I've listened to an event, so it'd be interesting to know what happened afterwards in terms of saying companies X, Y, and Z got interest, had 50% interest, would be interested in talking to others, because obviously when very few of us are going to invest the entire money that somebody's looking for, it's interesting not just to take a view yourself as to what collectively people think. I mean, clearly we can all form a view on a presentation and how well it went, but it's interesting to know that when somebody's actually read the plan, seen what the ask is, understand what the dynamics are, whether they then still want to follow up.
Yeah, definitely. Do you want, Craig, I'll start this one off. I mean, I'll come back to what I was talking about a minute ago. In the city, in the old days, we'd put events together, and I got invited to a club in London the following day from a good friend of mine. Doesn't matter what the club is, but I turned up, and who was there? One of the guys had presented talking to one of the potential investors that we'd spoken to, or he'd spoken to the night before, who subsequently became a founder investor in his company. So I suppose what I'm saying is our pitch events are introductions to people, and also what we can do further on for those companies, those potential founders and potential investors. I've lost everybody. Craig, can you carry on for a second?
Yep, no, I'm here. I'm still here. I'm here. I can hear you. Yeah, it's great. It's obviously a hard follow up with investor audiences changing all the time as well. And but like you said, there's the investment platform is there to facilitate all the pitch decks and the interest, and we personally get the metrics. So it's something we could start to utilise into future events. Neil, that's right.
All right, Neil, when do we find out who gets the free slot in March?
I've got a feeling he's just nipped out. Maybe he's just been to the bathroom. He'll what we'll do is I'll get Neil to send an email out to all the attendees with that information for you.
I've lost you.
But you're back, Neil.
Yeah, sorry about that. Comfort break. I suppose, you know, what we do is very simple. We put together people who are raising or looking to raise capital with guys we know, girls we know, who are looking to invest. Yeah. We try and help them as much on that process as possible, i.e. from the original sort of how to get investment ready. If you've got one share and you're trying to raise 500 grand, obviously that's not going to happen. You need additional shares, you need your legals in place, you need your actual pitch event, your pitches, your pitch decks and such like, which Dan Ballinger helps with. And then you need an actual pitch, which is different between a pitch deck, because you know, you might have a 5-page pitch deck, you might have a 20-page secondary pitch deck, which explains everything, but you can't put that over in 3 or 4 minutes. So what we try to do is help everybody going forward and put them in the best possible position they can to raise capital.
They were just asking when they're going to find out who will be the free pitch next time round.
Oh, the free pitch deck. Hang on a minute, I'll need my glasses now. Let me have a look. Where's the polls? Okay. Oh. The winner I won't tell you by how much, but by a long way is happening.
Thank you very much, guys. Much appreciated. And a bit
You've got I won't tell you anybody else, but we'll talk over the next weekend or over next week. You got 63% of the vote.
Blimey. I thought there was some great competition today, to be fair. So I'm pretty shocked by that. But thank you very much, guys.
I will tell you that in joint second place, and obviously these won't be shared with anybody else, is actually Alicia BOHEME, and also exactly on 38%. Hang on, where you gone? Is ALLIN.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
So congratulations to all of you. You say you're joint second.
Well done. Thank you.
But yeah, that's great. And again, that won't be shared with anybody, but it gives you an indication. So thank you, folks. As I say, look, we're here to help. That's what we do, right? We do these events. We don't charge a fortune for them, obviously. We're here to help. We work with SeedLegals companies, we work with non-seed legal companies, we work with all sorts of companies, but we work with listed companies. We've done a number of investment events at the old NEX exchange in London, listed exchanges and such like, but we're here to help. So just, follow us, contact us, whatever you want. We might not reply straight away, but the following day you'll get an email. Yeah, and that's from Dan, myself, Craig, Anthony at SeedLegals, because it's not easy to raise capital. We know that, you know that, and the best position you can be in is to talk to the experts that can help you. It's going to cost you ultimately to raise capital, whether you give away a little bit of shares or you pay 100 quid, 200 quid to invest, or £1,000 for a pitch thing. But we're here to help, and that's what we do. So thanks very much, Dan. Much appreciated. I'll give you a shout, as I said. Do you want to say anything else, or?
Yeah. Any of you guys looking to raise, drop me a line, and me and Neil a line. And are you looking for pitch decks, videos, animations to help share the journey? Then equally, also give me a call.
Yeah.
Send me an email. Put something in the chat now.
And as I say, join our workshops, join our pitch events, not the physical pitch events like this one tonight, but the other ones. And I'll run you through a 3-minute pitch, which, as I say, is a Tyson knockout, because you don't need to try and tell too much. You need to sell it, and you need to sell it in the old elevator pitch. And I'm a salesman, and most founders, unfortunately, aren't. That's not a problem, because we can fix that. So thanks for everybody. Much appreciated. As I say, please share our events, share our LinkedIn sites and bits and pieces, because we're here to help everybody. Okay.
Thanks so much for organising, Neil.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Look,
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Dan.
We'll
Thanks, guys.
we videoed this, so we'll put it on our YouTube site. We'll work out roughly where you are on each one, so you can send it to your friends and potential investors as well.
So can I just ask all the founders, by any chance, would you mind posting your LinkedIn profiles in the chat, just so I can do a quick grab of it? There's quite a few sort of startups here that I'm really interested in tracking, if that's all right.
Yeah, I should have sent you. You should have in the chat somewhere. There's a hang on a minute. Let me work this out. There's a brochure today, but yeah, you can have my LinkedIn. Sure. If I can get this thing to work. Again, decides it's not responding. It's Endo, it's in the all gone funny. It's Endo, it's in the link that I sent earlier, like the brochure thing, yeah.
Brilliant.
But I'll email it to you anyway. Yeah, I've just clicked it and it's gone all funny. Yeah. Good to see you, folks. Alexei, nice to see you. Dan, thanks very much. Everybody else, have a great night.
Thank you very much.
Appreciated. Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
You take care, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Cheers all.